Hey, everybody. My name is Craig McDaniel. I'm here to discuss the literature review I did for my grad school class. It is on the flipped classroom for IL 504 for Dr. Kimberly Warfield. So let's get into it. What is a flipped classroom? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. A flipped classroom is you take your lecture, your teaching home in video. The student does that the day before, and then when the student comes to the classroom, the student will have more time face to face, work through problems, and all the things like that. Prior experience, I've done uh, the flipped classroom method before, actually in PE. I've sent the kids home with an assignment with their iPads, gave them a video, taught the video, came back to class. We did the assignment without the lecture or anything like that prior to that. COVID-19. COVID-19 was an opportunity for a lot of teachers to at least do half of the flipped classroom model. So for them to be able to get comfortable with using video and things of that nature, now a lot more teachers are using the flip model by just because they are more comfortable with using video and sending kids home with those videos. How do some principals practice it? I know of a few principals that actually use the flipped classroom model for faculty meetings. They will do a lot of video-based stuff for the entire faculty, for the teachers to go in, watch the videos. That way the teachers and the principals and the assistant principals have more time for PST and grade level meetings. Is it beneficial? I feel like it's beneficial. I wanted to do more research on it. I wanted to see what other people had to say, and that's what this is for. Is this a good practice? Dr. Hahn and company, they had pre-class learning techniques, and they talked about this. In regards to the flipped classroom, Hahn noticed that more classrooms are using this method. They had an article for the schools, how they, and colleges actually, how they constructed a flipped classroom into their curriculum by using types of pre-class learning that are being refined and assigned for their implementation. How they did this, they gave the students articles and videos for home use, and then they brought it back to the classroom for face-to-face instructions. The students told the teachers in a survey that they wanted that the flip model was much more beneficial when the objectives were clear and they were also brief in nature. So is this a good practice? Here's what we go over here. The summary talks about how the study describes how pharmacy and schools, the pharmacy school and colleges are implementing flipped classrooms into their curricula, and more research should be done in comparing the impact of different types of pre-class material on learning outcomes, such as knowledge retention. So this was a good article for me to see where the questions are when it comes to the flipped classroom. So the next article I used talked about testing the flipped classroom. They used high school physics students. The flipped classroom, they actually used two strategies. They used the flipped classroom and they used think, pair, share. And at the end of this article, what is found out is the students were pre-tested and post-tested, the students that were using the flipped classroom model tested out better than the think, pair, share model with those. And there it is right there. The gain for the flipped classroom was almost a full point greater than the think, pair, share strategy. So let's think about the flipped classroom as a solution. All right. This next article, they use actually fifth grade students. So we went from college, went from high school, now we're in the fifth grade level. In this article, it proved that the flipped classroom model provided benefits for those students. Their academic achievement was accelerated. Also, their responsibility levels and things of that nature were also accelerated. And a direct quote from Dr. Bursa, who wrote this article: as a result of this study, it was determined that the flipped classroom practices increase the academic achievement of students statistically and significantly. I think the significantly part really hits home about the flipped classroom model. And here we can see the effects of the flipped classroom. Here's the in-class portion and out-of-class portion. The out-of-class portion, it reaches much more in that concept map. So in conclusion, is this the only way? No, it's not the only way to teach a class, but it is a tool that needs to be used in the tool belt for every teacher. For that to happen, training needs to be needed. Training is needed. Training is also what needs to be not really enforced, but in the higher levels, we need to train these teachers. Accommodations are needed. There are many students that do not have internet access at home. A lot of schools are providing hotspots and Wi-Fi hotspots for those individual students. Also, if they are not able to provide hotspots, those accommodations and modifications still need to be used in the classroom, in person, and they can collaborate with people that do use the flipped classroom model at home. There is a future in the flipped classroom model. This is just the beginning. I feel like this is a tool that will be accelerated and used for future use in the future. Thank you very much. Have a great day.